We are live. This is JB. I'm Jonathan Brown. I'm here with Austin O'Connell today and David Clark. What's up, David?
How's it going?
Good. What's up, Austin?
Here.
Filling in for Pat. Pat had an emergency tree surgery situation, I guess, so he had to run off.
Poor guy.
I know. He's getting ready to move into his house, so he's got a lot of stuff going on. So we are here today for kind of a exciting episode. We're going to talk about paving the way. That's the name of the podcast. I always forget to say that one. I'm going to make sure we're on it. So paving the way. Today we're going to talk about, we have David here because we're going to talk about starting the HVAC division and what we did, how we started it, and kind of what we're looking to do for the future. And so I'm excited to get David here, talk with Austin also about kind of the process that we did, how we worked towards that. And I think a little bit about us. I mean, I know we've already talked about our kind of backstory, how we started in 2005. So we're 17 years this year. And we did everything that we could building our business to build it the right way. We worked to not get into debt, to not get too big too fast, which was frustrating at times. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Austin's been around since 2009, so he feels the pain. But I think we built a pretty solid base in how we're doing it. And we thought that we could kind of share that with David.
Duplicate what we did.
Yes, exactly. Kind of duplicate
and
our
also
process.
learn from what David has taught us as well.
That's been a great part of it. That I wasn't expecting as much.
No, me neither. And now we got David.
I think we learned a lot. So David, so why don't you actually tell us a little bit about your backstory first and how you got to the point where we were ready to kind of do something together.
So I've been in the HVAC industry since about 2009. When the market crashed, I was in general contracting and jumped over to mechanical because it was actually a little busy. And I did it for a long time until I had the opportunity to join the union. So I went and joined the union. I did the Golden One Center, and then I bounced around from shop to shop. And I've been playing softball with JB a long time, so he's seen the progress of where I started in the industry and where I reached to the point where I was running some pretty good sized projects in the union. And that's when it kind of hit us that maybe we have a good something that we could put together here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, we've funny enough, actually, David and I played softball together. I can't even remember how long ago, but he got his brother, Dan, to come work with us too. He worked with us for years. Dan and I are good friends still, but he was a great addition to our team. You remember that?
Yeah. The work ethic between the two of them superseded our expectations, and I think that's why we took a liking, and the work ethic was a big deal for us.
Sexy Dan, actually, as we know him. Actually, a funny story. We're doing a project, Dan. Where were we?
Newman, California.
Newman. We're doing a park. We were still really small, and I had an inspector. I was working on one side of the park doing irrigation main, and Dan was on the other side of the park doing the irrigation main. I kind of like doing the same job, but on totally different sides of the park. And I had an inspector pull up and say, "Hey, I don't mean to be a stickler, but can you have your guy put his shirt back on?" It was a public works project that we were doing for the city of Newman, and so I had to run across the park and be like, "Hey, Dan, can you put a shirt on?" So named him Sexy Dan ever since. Actually, I named that a softball. He's on my phone as Sexy Dan. So, I think we saw kind of what David was working on and what he was doing, and we thought he'd kind of be a good partner. And so we kind of started our own little thing. Right now, we started under B&M Builders, and it's getting ready. It'll branch off on its own, hopefully in the next 12 months, I think is what we're shooting for. And so how has your experience been with this, Dave? So, I mean, what we kind of did, and this was our first time doing this. So I was going in with the hopes of learning how to build a company from scratch, right? Like with the knowledge that we've done in building our company from scratch and seeing if we could cut out a lot of the lessons that we learned along the way. So Dave, how do you think you coming in and starting, what's your perspective on kind of how this went down?
Well, I think we all didn't quite understand exactly how it would start and how it would get going. But the thing with me is I've always been a field guy. I'm the guy that gets it done in the field. So starting, there's no obviously work in the beginning. And it was coming in here and learning how they do things and how they operate in the office setting. And obviously the first thing with that is estimating. So the first 4 or 5 months, I hit it hard. I estimated and learned everything I could. I would be in here the first one in the morning, the last one to leave, and it was just learning how they do things, how they operate, and trying to come up with my own estimating program on how to do it myself. And then I actually reached out to some people that I really respected in the industry. One of them was a gentleman named Henry. I would actually go to his house and he would actually teach me how to estimate, and he believed in me. And he's like, man, if you could do what you could do in the field, you can estimate. And so I just pulled a little bit from everything where I could learn, and that was the starting point of it. It took a while, but and another thing was just getting on the phone and calling. These guys built such a great reputation in the industries, so it was easy for me to just call these general contractors and say, "Hey, look, we started a mechanical division, and we're running just like they do asphalt and concrete, which is second to none in the industry." So it was easy for these general contractors to be like, "Yeah, we'll give you guys a shot. You guys killed the concrete last time on our job, so here, we'll give you an opportunity." And I mean, that's all I really needed. I mean, the work in the field, I knew I could handle. So it was just learning that portion of it, and then getting on the phone and almost becoming a sales guy. But I can't. I've told everyone that I've known that it was so easy to do that because these guys have already got such a great name for themselves. It was easy for contractors to say, "Yeah, we'll give you guys a shot."
Well, I appreciate you saying good stuff about us. I want to go back though and ask a quick question. So I think it's big for especially someone who's going to start their own company and kind of especially under the process that we're trying to build of starting companies, to know how to do every part. Like you should know how to do every step in the process, which I know is a big thing for you too, David, right?
Yes.
So what do you think the importance of being able to get on the phone and call those contractors and talk to them?
What's the
Like
importance?
one-on-one, how important do you think that is getting on the phone and actually speaking to these people, to these contractors and to these potential customers, as the owner or the executive, the executive person running that division? How do you feel? How important do you think that is?
Oh, yeah, that's probably the highest priority is calling and connecting with these people and connecting with them one on one and letting them know what you guys do or what we do and how we're going to do it, and just really connecting with them. I feel like there's a lot of companies out there that just send out bids and never connect with anyone. And I mean, if you believe in your product, then you should get on the phone and you should call it. So I mean, that's a huge priority.
Yeah, communication is huge with us. Staying in touch with the generals that we're working for, being on the phone with them, getting to know them, personally. It goes a long ways.
Yeah, I think it's one of our core values is communication also. I mean, I think communication is huge. I'm interested because David and I have worked together now closely for a while, kind of building this and working on this, and I like to hear his perspective, especially when it's not just him and I talking. It's kind of the same thing, I guess, but we're talking, to other people also. So I like to hear what he thinks is the important parts of it. What do you think the most important part? Like if you're starting a business from scratch, what do you think the most important thing you've learned in this process is?
Oh man, I've learned so much, so much. It's just unbelievable. I think it's just really being open to learn new things. Not, just the whole process of learning, realizing that you're here to learn. You want to get anywhere in life, just learn more stuff. So I think just having the ability to like maybe realize, oh wait, this is a learning moment, and learn and embrace all the learning moments, because it's really all about learning. I mean, the more you embrace those learning moments, even if it's Pat yelling at me for spending too much money on a cell phone bill or something, it's knowing that, hey, you know what, I'm not in charge. I'm not. That's not my forte. So this is a learning moment, and not getting frustrated. So it's the learning moments. I feel like, if I could tell anyone that would come in and do the same thing, I would tell them just embrace every moment, because you never know when you're going to learn something.
Yeah, I think we touched on that earlier too. Like we've learned a lot from Dave too. Some of his values, some of what he brought to the table. So we also did get great value out of this experience as well. As well as our employees. David brought some great team building skills for us. and it goes both ways.
I think that's a great point, actually. I probably wouldn't have brought up learning as my first one, but I feel like it's definitely should probably be the first one. I think even from our perspective, right? Like we're always open to learn. I think we try to push that too. I want everyone to be open to learn. Like we know how to do things our way. We know what works good, but there's always, I think even in our area, like you said, it's not your forte and the field is your forte. But I'm sure you'll agree, David, too, that I've had guys come out into my area that I'm like the expert at it. I mean, the expert, I guess, and show me stuff. And I'm like, wow, like what was I doing all this time? Like even in my best areas, I get shown up by people who have maybe half the experience as me of me. And I think that you got to always be open. And I think a lot of guys I've met in the industry over the years, I think that's what separates the really good guys from everybody else is the guys who are saying like, I don't care. I've been in this business for 40 years. And a guy who's been here for 2 years can still teach me something new.
Yeah, and to kind of touch on that a little bit too, I think I was kind of shocked by how it went both ways on that. When I came in, I was expecting just to learn how they do things and do everything, but they were very open with things that I've learned from what I've learned at different companies and stuff like that. So they were already open to learn a ton too. So it just went both ways, and it really, I rocketed this thing into levels that we never thought were really going to be possible. So it's just being open and learning with each other and kind of going with it.
Yeah. What do you have? What concerns do you have going forward? Are you nervous about anything? I mean,
the economy.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have any concerns. I'm one of those guys that just is the most positive person on the planet. I'll have the worst day around, and I'm just constantly positive. I'm always concerned that that's going to, be my downfall one day. But I don't really have concerns. I believe in myself. I believe in what we're doing here, and I believe what we're going to accomplish, and I just focus on that. I don't focus on the concerns if the economy is going to crash tomorrow or next week or next year. You could focus on what's in front of you and just stay positive and put a challenge in front of you and go after it and go accomplish it.
Yeah. I think positivity always wins. I don't think positivity can be your downfall. What'd you say, Austin?
I said, well said.
Yeah. I think positivity is going to be what makes you successful. I think, I think for the economy too, I think it's being prepared. You and I have had this conversation a couple times, especially over the last month. Being prepared, being debt free. We kind of did an episode on this, I think last month. Debt free, being prepared, being ready to go. And I think we're in a good spot for that. And I think that's one of our main things also. That's why we never overextended ourselves, is because we were always wanted to be in a good spot financially. If everything falls out from under us, we need to be not, underwater or in a bad spot. So, anything else you think about, talking about this process? So, my goal in this is I kind of want other people to hear what we did and how we kind of started this from the ground up and how you guys are killing it. The amount of jobs we got this year already, I think we've already matched what we've done last year. You're already in the black for the year. You're already going in a good direction. I think we're killing it. And I want to kind of put it out there. I want other people to see. I want them to see what we're creating with you and on your side. I want people to see how we're helping you to create that. And so that we can kind of look for other people then in the same situation. Because I think that we can do this to help other people build their businesses and to kind of do that same process.
We're going to do that.
Yes.
That's the goal.
Yeah. And so we're always looking for people. So what do you think the key to the relationship was, David? Because I have what I think the key is and what I'm looking for in this, but like, what do you think the benefits from you coming into this? Like, what can we do? And I'm not looking for you to pat me on the back, because that's not what it is. I think that this is a team effort. I don't think that we did anything. I don't think that we did anything. I think we, as all of us, have made this possible. I honestly believe, actually, I'll just jump into mine, because if you're going to say things about us, I think the key is David. I think this industry is full of people like David who are hard workers, who have made it their priority to master their craft and to put them in a spot where they really know what's going on in the industry. And they want to work hard, and they have goals that they set for themselves, and they really want to kind of, not really, they have very direct goals. This is what I want, and this is where I'm going. And I think that the same situation with a different person would have gone completely different. And I think that that if I'm looking to do this again, I think the key of what I need to look for is someone like David. I'm not really sure how to quantify or put into words exactly what those traits are, but I think we kind of all know, right? And we've met some guys over the years these are hustlers. They're really hard workers. They're very intelligent. They're very smart. They're quick to learn. And really, I think with David, it was almost a slam dunk because he was going to go there, right? Like he's going to be successful in this industry. And we're just kind of helping him make those steps quicker and not having to learn all the lessons that we learned. He did. He made it very easy for us. And I hope that we brought as much value to him as we see that he brought to the table himself.
Yeah, so to touch on that, I feel like one of the core things that I did bring is just the power of belief. You know, I've been a guy that's been held back in so many different companies, and you know, I never once looked in the mirror and thought, oh, maybe this is as far as I'm going to get. I never let someone tell me how far I was going to make it. I always believed in myself. So it just, even when times are tough here and I'm in here for 4 months and I'm not getting any work, you know, just believing in yourself. I mean, when I coach Little League with these kids, I tell them to believe in themselves. And I really feel like that's one of the core things that I kind of bring to the table that kind of made this thing work too, is it's just believing. I mean, you come in here and believe in what you're doing and then believe in yourself that you are capable of doing whatever it is you want to do. But you got to believe in yourself and you got to go after it. And that's the power of, you know, believing and learning. Like I said, these guys have taught me things that I've never, ever thought I was capable of learning. But I believe that I could potentially get to a level one day where I was someone high up in a big company and not just some foreman on a field somewhere. And it's just the power of those two things really combined into making this thing happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's well said. So I think what I'd like to put out there, like Austin said, we are going to do this again. I'm actually talking to a guy that I've known for a long time who does pools. And I'd kind of like to go that direction. We're still in conversation, so I'm not sure where that's going. But I would like to say, actually, if you know somebody, I'm looking for people that are kind of like David. I mean, I think I'm always on the lookout for people who are like David, that are like-minded, and they have a direction and they want to go somewhere that we can kind of help get there. I mean, so if you know someone like that, please reach out and recommend them to us. I think I'd rather get recommendations from people and say, hey, like, I think David's actually recommended something to me. Also, you said, hey, you should speak to this guy. I like those. I like somebody calling and saying, hey, this is the guy you want to speak to, because I believe that's where you're going to get it from. I believe that everybody's going to call and say, like, I'm that guy. But I mean, really having somebody else tell you that's the guy, for me, that holds a lot more weight, because everybody thinks they're that guy. But it's just a different level. David's on a different level. I think there's a lot of people out there like that, and I'm making it my goal is to try to help people like David who are going to be successful, and we want to help them get there quicker, and be a part of it. Because I'm excited over the next 4 years to see how David does with this. Because David, it's not just David. There's another one, Eric, who's working with him also. The two of them are going to run this company, but I'm excited to see where they go over the next 5 years. I have very high hopes. I think they're going to kill it, and I'm excited to see that. All right. Anything anybody else wants to bring up? Or?
Well, David got to spread his wings.
Yeah, he absolutely did. All right, David. Anything else you wanna say before we cut you off? No, just sorry, too late. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Well, I'm super grateful to be in this position, and like JB was saying, you know, if you guys know anyone who could come in and maybe do the same thing, the cool thing is we're one big team. Like, we're all here to help. Like, it won't just be JB and Austin and Pat showing them the way. It'll be Eric and myself too. So there's really 5 of us now, you know. So I feel like if we do this again and it's a pool guy or a roofing guy or a masonry guy, anyone, I feel like we're just going to build this powerhouse of people. So it would be exciting to see someone come in here, and I would love to help someone and show them where I struggled in the beginning and where I can help. So I'm excited to see it happen.
Yeah, I love that idea too. I think I saw the idea on the Shark Tank one time. One of the sharks had they had a little clip it, and they had brought like 6 or 7 of their people that they had bought into their companies, and they would meet every year, and they would kind of share their problems and their ideas, and they were kind of building together. And I love that idea, because I'm all about teamwork. I'm all about us working together, and I think that between us and then now David and Eric, we bring on other people. I think that what we can provide is, I mean, it's amazing. And I just want to help. We want to help these people be able to build their own companies so that we can all grow together. So I'm really excited to hear about that. So reach out to us on social media. We went way over our time. I know we're pretty long on this one. Austin's already kicking me under the table. So reach out to us. All social media is Twitter, Instagram. Yeah. Our website, bm-builders.com. And please don't be afraid to reach out. Also LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a great place to reach out to me personally. So anything you have, give us a call, reach out, and thank you for your time. Thanks.